The rehearsals for the play carry on regularly over the month. We have at least one every week, and sometimes more, although I don't go to every single one of them. I go to lots. Aspen and Juliet are probably more excited about it than I am, and always encourage me before I go, even though I've told them several times that I'm not really participating that much. Out of the entire cast, there's definitely no one who works as hard as Lena and Cyrus do. Not only do those two have the most lines, but they have the most energy too. Considering how quiet Cyrus is when he's not acting, watching and hearing him perform with so much emotion is like seeing a whole new person. Even though the play isn't until December, more than a month away, neither of them ever slack off. When I'm there, I sometimes help out with things like organizing the props or handing out refreshments. The actual performance will be on a real stage, but we haven't been able to use one for practice yet. Sometimes I do have to perform my part, which mostly means standing still in my costume, but sometimes having to move around. I'm not totally sure why they don't just use fake trees, but it's okay. Although I wasn't exactly looking forward to being a part of this at first, the more time I spend at rehearsals, the more fun I have. Even though I have to meet most of the cast every time, they're all pretty friendly and easy to get along with, and even I can see the improvements that happen every week. Everyone is getting better, not just Lena and Cyrus. Occasionally other people in the park will stop by to watch for a bit, and they always clap or cheer when we're done or when they leave. Overall, the play is a nice distraction from the worries of my everyday life. It's nice to have one thing that I don't have to stress about. There's still a long way to go, but I know that just means we'll improve even more before the real thing. Surprising even myself, I'm looking forward to showing everyone just how hard we've been working. It's late and the moon is high in the sky when there's suddenly a knock at my window. I burst up from my spot on the floor where I'd been dozing.
What the?
It's probably Silver. In the darkness, it takes a moment for me to discern the face behind the glass. When I do, it turns out to be the last person I'd expect.
Silver?
I pull the window open to where Silver is perched on the branch of a nearby tree.
Why not just use the door?
Come outside. I would speak with you.
Come outside. I do not belong indoors. Speaking of doors, I do not belong with doors either. I only belong with windows. Ignoring my question like always, Silver stands up. I catch the corner of a cocky smile before she leaps from the branch, plummeting towards the ground below.
Hey!
Clutching the windowsill, I jam my head out the window, expecting to see her crumpled on the grass. Instead, I'm just in time to watch her nimbly land on her feet and transform back before running off into the darkness behind a library. With no time to wait or even think about it, I follow after her. Of course, I take the stairs and go out the front door first. I transform right away and wrap around the building, expecting to have to chase after Silver, even though she came here. Instead, she hasn't gone far at all. Just beyond the edge of the yard, she stands in her human form and stares out at the city below us. Many windows are dark, but many are illuminated too. The streetlights and lamps stand still, even with no one to use them. A warm, yellow glow pushes away the darkness at the edge of town. Changing forms back as well, I walk over to stand beside her. Without looking at me, Silver extends an arm in front of her, as if reaching for the city. It's her wrist with her bracelet on it, and her beads shine in the dark like another street lamp. Unhooking my necklace, I hold it out alongside hers. The glow of my bead is about as bright as hers. Scoffing, Silver lowers her arms, and I put my necklace back on. I wait for her to start talking. Instead of saying anything myself, I find myself doing this a lot, with Aspen and Juliet as well. Although, here, it's different. Not only was Silver the one who came to me, but anything I say would probably be ignored anyway. Sure enough, it isn't long before she twirls around to point a finger in my face.
Listen up, because I'm only going to tell you this once.
That's one more time than I usually get. I just nod, signaling for her to continue.
I simply couldn't watch you continue to wallow in ignorance.
Yep, that's the reason.
Whereas your magic causes those you encounter to forget about you, mine assists me in a different way. It tells me the truth of things, of people, human and fabled alike. To my eyes, their emotions are as colors. Fear, like everything else, has its own glow. I've seen it ignite in my presence, at my command. In this way, I've survived. The betrayal of their hearts is twofold. They reveal unseen feelings that they try to mask with words. And the hearts of men are fickle besides. I've seen boredom turn to cruelty, fear become hatred. This is what I see, and you do not. The truth that lies behind all promises and pretenses. Today's friends are tomorrow's bitter foes. You should know all this. I know what it's like to be one of us. I know what you've lived through. And yet, even now...
She cuts herself off and scoffs. Or maybe it's her choking something back.
What color is mine right now?
To give her an out, I ask a question instead. Her eyes narrow, but with concentration and not irritation. As I stand there, I match her gaze. This is the first time we've really spoken normally instead of her trying to pick a fight or hide from me. She's the first to look away, speaking to the ground.
The color of young spring.
Okay, that's not really a color.
It's difficult to read the aura of our kind, requiring my concentration and focus. Even then, it's but a pale glow. With humans and most others, they cannot hide their light from me if they wanted to.
Like why you don't forget about me, right? Even though everyone else does.
She nods. I want to know what color means to her. I also want to know why she's choosing to just tell me this after dodging everything else I've ever asked her. It's probably because she saw Aspen or Juliet and like, it's a color of caring and love and stuff. I'm sure she wouldn't tell me if I tried. But there is something else that I do have to ask because I'm pretty sure I already know the answer.
Have you ever told anyone else?
Staring at the ground, it takes a long time before Silver shakes her head.
Thought so.
I don't think Silver's quite as old as I am, but she's still spent decades on her own, if not longer, just like me. In all that time, any chances I might have had to do something different or change something, I just let pass me by. I never had any ideas what I might be missing. Beside me, Silver adjusts her mask and shifts her weight to her good leg. She's about to transform and probably run away. She had to have some reason for bringing me out here, right? Was she hoping that I'd be the one to extend a hand? I think she'd get along with Aspen and Juliet once she had some time to warm up to them. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be having this conversation with her right now. Before she can change, I suddenly reach over and put my hand on Silver's shoulder. She stiffens and goes tense beneath my fingers, pulling away inconceivably fast, facing me from a few meters away. I don't need to be able to read auras to detect the anger emanating from her.
I'm sorry.
Damn it, that was dumb, even for me. I held up my hands trying to show that I won't do it again.
I just...
Just what? Wanted to help her? Saying that would definitely make her hate me. Instead, I clamp my jaw shut, before I can make things worse. For a moment, her face softens and she looks torn. She dispels that by shaking her head.
We're even now.
Within seconds, she's a fox, and then she's part of the night, vanished into the darkness. This time, I don't even think about chasing her. I would have gotten upset too if one of my friends had done that to me early on too, but I don't think she'll hold it against me. At least, not any more than the rest of my existence. After all, I realized way too late her coming here in the first place was already her reaching out. And if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that you can't rush these things. Sorry, my cats are playing. They have the zoomies.
I'm sorry. I hope I'll see you again soon.
I don't yell, but I don't whisper either. I'm pretty sure that she's still close enough to be able to hear me. I've done about as much as I can, the rest is up to her. The first thing out of my mouth when I wake up is a sigh. Outside my window lurks a murky gray morning, which feels like an omen. It's chilly and I'm tempted to stay under the warm covers, but I force myself up and to get ready and then go to breakfast. Julie and I chit-chat as we wait for Aspen to arrive, but she never does. By the time we finish eating, it seems pretty clear that Aspen won't be showing up.
She must still be asleep.
Oh. Just like the morning that Chella and her friend left, I'm guessing that Aspen's overslept. After Silver ran away last night, I was also kept awake with my thoughts for a while. I figured I'd be the last one to get to the kitchen. Aspen still has me beat though. I try calling her, but it goes to voicemail. As soon as I hang up the phone, I return to my room, I put on my shoes, and then leave the library, waving at Juliet when I pass by the dining room again. I'm sure she knew what I was going to do as soon as I did. I'm not too worried about Aspen, at least not any more than usual, but I have a feeling she could use the support right now. Oh. I knock on Aspen's door and wait. Silence, I knock again and wait. I knock a third time, harder. Finally, I hear a sleepy voice from inside.
I'm coming.
When the door finally opens, I'm relieved to see Aspen is alright, or at least upright and unharmed. She definitely isn't doing great though. Her hair is a mess and she still has a blanket wrapped around her. As she stares at me blinking in the morning sun, she groans and holds a hand to her head.
Miho?
Oh, she's sick.
God, what time? Ugh, come in.
I step inside gingerly, shutting the door behind myself. Inside it's dark with the curtains drawn and all the lights off. Aspen immediately returns to her bed and lays down with another groan. As I walk towards the bed, my foot bumps against something on the floor. At first, I'm afraid it's one of the cats, but when I look down, I see it's actually an empty can. It rolls under the bed all the same. In fact, there are a few of the empty cans around. I pick one up because I don't recognize the label and can immediately identify it by smell of Aspen? I've never had any alcohol, but I know enough about it just for TV and my travels. I sit down on the bed beside Aspen, who's covered her face with a stuffed animal. Still, she's managed to blindly fumble around with one hand until she finds and holds mine.
I'm late for breakfast, aren't I?
Girl, what's going on? Why are you getting wasted by yourself?
Yeah. I came to make sure you're okay.
She makes a sound that could be a pain or just acknowledgement.
Sorry. You should have called. You didn't have to walk all the way here.
I think she did.
I tried.
Her other hand appears in the darkness, also fumbling around until she finds her phone, which is under a pillow just like her.
Oops. I'm sorry. I slept right through it.
Oh girl, what's going on? Looking around her room, I notice more than just the beer cans. Her laptop is on the floor, half closed. Notebooks and papers are scattered around the room, not just on the desk, but everywhere. Last time I was here, her apartment was messy. Today is a disaster.
It's okay. No big deal. I'm more worried about you than anything.
Oh my god, she's like, I think she's like really losing it to distress.
I'm fine. I'm fine. The only problem is I slept in so damn late. I was planning to call out of work anyway. I need the extra time to finish my edits. And I may have had a bit too much to drink last night, which I'm really paying for now.
Oh yeah, the hangover.
I don't think you can call this fine.
Gently, I lift the plushie away from Aspen's face.
No!
Although she groans and makes grabby hands at it, she doesn't really try to stop me. Instead, she looks up at me with red-rimmed eyes and manages to smile. Oh my god. Gesturing for me to come closer, I lean down and Aspen pulls me in to kiss her. Her hands linger on my cheeks when I sit back up.
What if I said I was fine now?
I still wouldn't believe you.
Aspen.
Hmm.
Although she pretends to pout, Aspen doesn't try to deny it again. Since she's not in any shape to sit up, I lie down next to her instead. I can't help but notice the makeup stains on her pillow.
This is 2 days in a row now that I've gotten to wake up next to you. More or less. That's something good at least.
Aspen, please. You're giving me anxiety and you're a fictional character.
You missed out on breakfast today, though.
I'll take that trade.
She closes her eyes, yawning.
But that's also 2 days in a row that I've overslept. I'd actually meant to get an early start today and work on my book a bit before going up to the library.
You were gonna get up early? When did you go to bed?
Aspen and I had already said goodnight to each other before Silver showed up at my window, and that was somewhere around midnight.
I don't remember. It's a little fuzzy, you know. I'm in the final stretch, though. I can afford to sacrifice a little sleep.
Can you?
Maybe if it was just sleep. And just a little.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? Even Juliet can tell how exhausted you are all the time.
Even Juliet, hmm? Besides, it's only a couple more days. I have to finish and send it in by the end of Sunday, and then...
And then...
Then... everything can go back to normal. Like my sleep schedule. Then it'll be out of my hands and someone else's problem.
Oh, girl.
It's gonna be that easy? You'll just never have to think about your book again.
Well, no, of course, not like that. I hope not, at least. Unless the changes still aren't what they're looking for. But I don't even want to consider that. Oh God, I do not want to consider that. There'll be more work to do, of course, more writing and more editing. Hopefully not as much editing. I struggled a lot this time around because it was so different from the original manuscript and not the kind of thing I usually write. But once I got the hang of it, it started being easier, so I think next time around shouldn't be as difficult, because I already know what they're looking for.
She has to stop and take a deep breath to continue talking.
That's not counting all the other stuff like paperwork and promotion and all that, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, rights and licensing too. That's another thing to think about, but later. The first time I do all that might be tough, but it should also get easier, just like the editing. I've done a lot of research and...
Aspen.
It does make sense, given what the best-selling trends have been lately. Usually I'm more into...
Aspen!
With a tiny hic, she cuts off mid-sentence.
Okay, I know that sounds like a lot, but...
Aspen, you can't keep doing this to yourself.
Yeah. I don't like interrupting her, but I know where this is going. At my words, she does stop and gazes up at the ceiling before speaking in a very small voice.
What else can I do, though? I know how hard it is to understand from the outside, but that's what it's like to be an artist.
Oh, Aspen.
Opportunity rarely knocks twice, as they say. It could be years before I have another chance like this, if ever. Some things are worth persevering through. So what if I have to call out of work a couple times or miss some sleep? That won't matter in the long run. When there's a line of people waiting for a midnight release at the bookstore or posting fan fiction online, someday I'll forget all the bad stuff that happened, or even look back and laugh. Someday it'll be worth it.
Someday?
She nods.
But who cares about someday when you're miserable now, love?
It feels strange to call her that, but also right, just like when she said it to me, and it seems like it works. I hear her breath catch in her throat, and even as she turns to face me again, I can see the glimmer of tears in her eyes. More than ever, I wish I knew what to say that could help her. If Juliet was here, I'm sure she'd have some great advice to offer. It's hard for me to understand what it is she's going through. On the other hand, it's really easy to see how it's affecting her.
I know, I'm the last person who should tell someone how to spend their time. But it can't be worth feeling like this all the time, just so maybe someday it'll be better, right? Even if I don't know anything about writing or books or any of that, all of those next steps you talked about sound just as bad. You used to be so excited about your book, but now it just makes you sad all the time. If it would really get better after this weekend, that'd be one thing, but it wouldn't, would it?
Aspen slowly shakes her head, tears silently roll down her face onto her pillow and hair. I scoot closer so that our foreheads are touching. Even then, I can barely hear her as she whispers.
I know.
Oh my god.
I know that you're right and it won't get easier, but I'm right too. All those things I said about maybe not getting another chance, or about how it's never easy for anyone, they're true as well. I wish it wasn't. I wish this wasn't my only choice because it's not even mine anymore. It's not my story or characters, it's something else. And I don't know what else to do. If my original story was any good, it wouldn't have been rejected so many times, or needed so many changes. And they're not bad changes either, they make sense, they're just not mine.
Are you really okay with that?
For all of about 2 seconds, she holds my gaze. Then Aspen truly bursts into tears. It might be her most honest answer yet. Her whole body shakes as she cries, and I do what I can to hold her. The two cats hop onto the bed, concerned and investigating. Oh my god. The corners of my eyes burn too. Not for myself, but for Aspen and for the helplessness I feel. But also I recall what Juliet said, that this is something Aspen has to go through herself.
I don't know if I am. I don't know. I thought I was. Kept telling myself I was, but...
It's hard for her to speak in between sniffles and sobs. I just let her cry against me, doing what I can do. Be there for her. She doesn't need to finish her sentence anyway. We both already know the answer. I stroke her hair and try to think of how to piece together what I want to say to her. It's tough, because I know I don't have anything that would be helpful or might solve a problem. All I can do is be honest.
I don't know the difference between good and bad writing, of course. I've only ever read one book. But I still really like that book. Enough to read it again and again yesterday. And the only reason I could even do that is because you and Juliet seem to like books so much that I had to try them too. Spending hours hunched over that desk, copying those letters a million times, I wouldn't have done that for just anyone, you know? I'm glad I did, though. It was worth it just to be able to read The Fox in the Grove, even though I already knew the story. That was something I never understood before. Why anyone would want to read a book more than once. You already know what's going to happen. But because it makes me think of you.
Oh my god.
And that you wrote it just for me to be able to read.
Oh my god.
I don't think I'll ever be able to like a book more.
Over her eyes, she manages a shaky sigh that might be a laugh.
Well, I can't complain about that kind of critical reception.
Her sobs have gone back to being sniffles and hiccups, and she's slowly able to catch her breath. The pillow that we share is soaked with her tears, but I barely notice. The two cats are still nearby, and she scoops them up and pulls them towards her as well. Oh my god!
You guys are worried too, huh?
Oh, it's so real. Look, I'm tearing up. Sorry, my cat. But like, when I was like in the hospital, all I could think of was like my cats. And then when I came back, they were just like curled around me, and like, I slept for like maybe 18 hours a day for like a good week. It was so bad. And they were so worried. And like, okay, so I have two cats. One of them is a lot more, like, I guess extroverted, and she sleeps next to me quite often. But it's the other cat that is a lot, you know, more distant, more shy. And it was only that time that when I was like back from the hospital, and she had curled up like, man, she had curled up like next to my head, and that was the first, and I think still the only time, like that week was the only times that she slept so close to me. The cats really, they really do know when you're like, when you're going through it. Oh man. They both meow in protest as Aspen brings them into our hug. There isn't really room, but Aspen manages to squeeze them in. They immediately hop away though, and she doesn't try to stop them.
Not too worried, I see.
We snuggle for a bit longer, and then for the first time since she got into bed, Aspen sits back up and rubs her eyes. I sit up too, and she casually leans against me as she looks around. It's a lot brighter now than it was when I got here, even through the curtains.
It is a bit of a mess here, isn't it?
A little bit. Yeah.
Aspen reaches down and picks up one of the empty beer cans, examining it before tossing it into the recycling bin.
Tasted awful anyways.
Oh yeah, you can say that again.
I didn't even know you like beer.
She doesn't.
We don't.
Yeah. Another can is on Aspen's nightstand, and she chucks that into the bin as well before gathering some of the scattered papers across around the apartment. I help clean, throwing away anything that looks like trash and organizing anything that doesn't. Aspen takes care of all that, replacing her laptop on her desk and tightening some of the clutter. Finally, she opens the curtains and we sit back down. I wait for her to say something. Since there still hasn't been any resolution, I don't have to wait very long.
I'm going to send an email to Avery and tell them I've changed my mind. And then I'm not interested in making the changes they wanted.
Wait, you've already decided that?
I'm happy to hear her decision, but I wasn't expecting it to come this fast.
I have to give them an answer soon, one way or another. To be honest, I was already thinking about it, and have been for days. In my heart, I think it's what I've wanted to say this whole time.
Oh.
But I kept telling myself that I should just try a little harder and power through. I could probably do that if I put my mind to it. But there was something you said earlier. And as soon as you said it, I knew you were right, because it was something I was trying not to admit to myself. That somewhere along the way, something I love had turned into something I dread.
Yeah.
I pictured myself continuing down that path. If I lost that love forever, would it be worth it? It might be. It might not. There's no telling how it would go. But you're right that I have something to live for right now. And someone to love. And so I think maybe that much is enough. More than enough, even.
Aspen leans in and I do too, closing my eyes in anticipation. The relief that floods through me as I hear Aspen's word is like a glass of water after a long run. Pausing just inches from my lips, Aspen whispers just one more thing before we kiss.
I have everything I need
Oh.
right here.
The two of us linger around Aspen's apartment for a while longer. I play with the cats while Aspen collects herself and eventually manages to send off her email. Around lunchtime we head to the Bell House for Aspen's midday shift.
Are you sure you want to go to work today? You said you were gonna call out.
I'm sure. It'll be nice to have the distraction. Sorry to leave you on your own, though.
It's alright. I'll figure out something to do.
I study Aspen's face. Her eyes are still red and puffy, although her glasses help hide that. She still seems fragile, but I feel less worried about her than before.
See you tomorrow then?
Maybe. I might just need a day alone. Not that being with you doesn't help me feel better, but I just have a lot of thinking to do.
Yeah. It's not anything personal. Sometimes we just need to be alone.
I understand. We can hang out again when you're ready.
I'll see you on Halloween for sure.
Cool.
Aspen adjusts her glasses and removes her hat, preparing to go change into her uniform.
Well, I'm going to go clean myself up a bit before my shift starts. I can't let Luna see me like this.
You sure you'll be okay?
Yes, I have lots of practice at keeping myself together. That's all customer service really is.
Oh god.
Alright. See you later then.
Goodbye, Miho. I love you.
Love you too.
After a final kiss, she goes inside to start her shift. It's been an emotional day already, and it's barely half over. Despite that, I feel optimistic as I walk away from the cafe. I'm still concerned about Aspen, but I know she'll be okay in the long run. There's a long road ahead, but things are looking up. Isn't that the truth, right? Because at the end of the day, it could be, you know, one job or another, or like doing this work or that hobby. And what ultimately matters is the people. I continue to see Tommy and his family fairly regularly. Of course, I hear from the three of them every day just to maintain their memories. It makes my daily check-ins take a little while, but that's okay. Gwen also comes to the library to study several times a week, sometimes by herself and sometimes with Tommy. When Elijah drops out by to return the books he borrowed, he mentions that he wasn't able to learn much about Gerby like he'd hoped, but that he thinks Gerby comes from somewhere other than the underworld like I do. That would explain why it's harder to find information about him. It reminds me a bit of Aspen and Juliet, trying to find out more about my bead and magic. At least in that case, there's Silver to help explain some things, at least grudgingly. As for Tommy, it seems like he's doing okay. I don't hear anything else about him getting into fights. For one thing, when he's at the library, he either looks for bugs or just reads a book at the table with his mom. My cat is drinking my water, so I can't drink it anymore. Yeah, you like the taste of my saliva inside Brota filtered water? Slowly but surely, the three of them, four if you count Gerby, have slipped into their own routine. I hope Elijah was right when he said that things between them will just have to get better with time. After eating breakfast with just Juliet, I have to figure out how to spend a day without Aspen. We had a quick video call this morning where she said she still needs a day to herself just to unwind and think and cry. I wish that I could be there to comfort her, but I also understand why she needs to be alone for a while. She's learning those hard lessons for herself, like Juliet said. I'll see her tomorrow, but I can't let today go to waste. Juliet finds me in the kitchen looking out the back window.
Is something out there?
Nah, just thinking about what I want to do today. Aspen's not feeling very good.
In the shade of the big tree in the backyard, there are a couple of birds hopping around looking for worms. That gives me an idea.
Could I go see that bird we rescued? The one your friend picked up.
You can certainly visit the preserve. Although I couldn't say if they'd be able to point you to our friend in particular. There are quite a lot of other birds who call it home.
That's fine. I can look for it on my own.
Of course. It's a bit of a walk, but there's a shuttle that can take you most of the way.
Juliet shows me where to find a shuttle and I use my phone to guide me there. I don't have to wait long until it arrives and I climb on board. The driver takes us in the direction of the Bell House and Aspen's apartment. I've walked down these roads so many times that it feels strange to see them rush by out the windows, like I'm fast-forwarding through a TV show. At some point, we take a turn that I've never taken before, and soon we're going through areas that are new to me. I watch them go by, not paying enough attention to commit them to memory. Eventually, I stop and disembark. As I get my first whiff of the clean air, I understand why it's a preserve. As far as I can see, the land is covered in forest, not just trees, but forest, grown so thick that it looks like a solid wall of green. The only exception is a river that winds through the hills, where the water is crystal clear and still. The nearby botanic gardens were lovely, but this is something else. This is something more. Oh my god. Is this another choice that matters? Yeah, we can save here. Okay. This is completely not related to Miho's experience, but I just want to settle down in one place and not have to go everywhere. Okay, my cat is on my mixer right now, so if you hear weird noises, it's my cat on the mixer. I want to settle down and not have to keep moving and stuff. It reminds me of my days in the wild running free. Although those were good times, I prefer the simplicity and security of my daily life that I've established. I quietly pay for my ticket and then hurry out as fast as I can. I see why Juliet said they wouldn't be able to help me find my bird. There are tons of places it could be, but that doesn't mean I can't try. Maybe if I found the person who took the bird in, they'd know what happened to it. I want to settle down and not have to keep moving and stuff. That's my cat. That's my cat. It reminds me of my days in the wild running free. Although those were good times, I prefer the simplicity and security of my daily life that I've established. Girl, you need to stop. I quietly pay for my ticket. You need to stop pressing out as fast as I want to settle down and not have to keep moving and stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. My my cat. So my mixer can record live and play it back live, and my cat just held it down and then pressed it again. Anyways, I quietly pay for my ticket and then hurry up. Maybe if I found the person who took. Oh my. Girl. Maybe if I found the person who took the bird in, they know what happened to it. I might have better luck just looking for it myself, though. It's a big place, I decide, too big for me to try to explore on my own. I should look for Juliet's friend, Amaya. I should have asked Juliet how to contact her before I left. I'm sure Juliet's asleep by now, and I don't want to disturb her. Besides, it's not like I'm in a hurry. Taking my time, I try to see as much as I can. It's not crowded, but the preserve is far from empty too. There are just as many fabled as there are human. Some I recognize like a faun and a dryad. I wonder if the trees make any of them feel like I do. If any of them have a story like I do. Come from someplace far away like I do. There are kids too, human kids with their teachers being led around by tour guides. Lots of them look excited to be here. I hope maybe they can learn to love it as well. I asked some of the guides or instructors if they know who and where Amaya is. Some of them have no idea what I'm talking about. Some know her, but not her location. Finally, I find someone who's able to point me in the right direction. I end up back near where I started, near the edge of the river. Sure enough, the lady from before is there, talking with another guest. I wait until they finish their conversation before I approach.
Excuse me.
Hi, how can I help you?
Oh, it's Amaya.
A few weeks ago, you picked up a hurt bird from my friend Juliet. I was wondering if you could tell me where it is now.
Oh, right. That poor guy. I'm afraid the little fellow didn't make it. I think that when he took the tumble that hurt his leg, he must have hurt something inside him too.
Oh.
Oh.
It's dead. I hadn't even thought about that possibility. This whole time I just assumed it'd be alive, that it had gotten better.
It's sad, but it's the way of nature sometimes. Mind if I ask how you were involved?
Naturally, she doesn't remember me before being there.
I was the one who found it and brought it to Juliet's. I wasn't around when you picked it up, though.
Oh, right. Well, you can sleep easy and know that you did what you could.
She sounds so casual about it. I guess she's probably experienced this a lot. Meanwhile, I don't know what to say. I just stand there surprised. It was just a bird, sure, but that's still something. For the bird, it was everything. Amaya starts to walk away, but before she can leave, there's something I want to know. Something I've never given much thought to before, but that my recent time with Silver has made me wonder about.
Hey, I have a question.
Shoot.
Do you believe in fate?
What the? She stares at me in mild shock. It's a weird thing to ask, I know, but I hold her gaze and don't back down.
Now there's a question.
Looking past me at the water, she takes a deep breath and lets it out slowly.
If you're asking if I think there's a world out there where that bird survives or never gets hurt to begin with, then sure, maybe. I'm not smart enough to know, but it's not this one. Destiny, luck, whatever you want to call it. Life's unfair, that's a fact. It doesn't care about any one of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can do everything right and it just isn't enough.
Yeah.
I don't think that's destiny personally. That's just being alive. Being here, doing what I can to help who I can, that's just me playing my part in life. If that's because some invisible force led me, then it doesn't change anything. Bigger picture or not, it's what I choose to do with my time right now. And I choose to believe that makes a difference. Hope that helps.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. Say hi to Juliet for me, will you?
Yeah, no problem.
Once again, she starts to walk away, and this time I don't stop her. Instead, I walk out to the nearby gazebo and sit down, surrounded by quiet water. Even though her reasoning was totally different, I can't help but think about how Amaya pretty much said the same thing Silver did. It was just a bird, and that's just life. Silver who wanted to let it die, and Amaya who tried to help it live. I wonder how Silver would feel if she heard the news. I'm sure she'd pretend not to care, but she did follow me all the way back to the library just to see. On the other hand, Amaya didn't seem all that upset. I couldn't tell she didn't know why it mattered to me. Oh, I could tell she didn't know why it mattered to me. Like always, it's hard for me to answer that question myself. I know how nature works as well as either of them. I know better than to expect it to care. That doesn't mean I can't. Though, even if no one else sees it, that bird was still as alive as we were. Maybe it didn't read books or drink coffee or watch TV, but it still existed. It ate and flew and sang. Forest on Mount Victoria will be a little more quiet from now on, even if nobody notices. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference myself. I know, it's not like that bird and I were friends. Still, whenever I go back, I'll think about it and think about the trees that used to be its home, the nest that I'll never return to. Sighing, I stand up and start walking again. Despite how it turned out, I'm still glad I came to this place. Still glad it exists. It might not be perfect, but it's doing the best it can. Oh. The end of October arrives with a brisk morning chill. I take my time waking up, enjoying the comfortable warmth of my bed. Like always, outside of my window, the leaves and branches shake with the breeze, but they can't reach me in here. From downstairs, the warm smell of coffee wafts up, promising me refreshments and energy. Something else drifts up too, something even better. The comfortable sound of Aspen and Juliet chatting in the dining room. How long has it been? Weeks, at least. The past few times that Aspen has been here for breakfast, she's been too preoccupied to really have a good time. But even from up here, I can hear the sound of her laughter like a bell. Smiling, I get myself up and ready for the day. I hope October will take her worries with it as well. I head downstairs and we go through the usual smiles and greetings, plus the usual chit-chat as we eat. Eventually, we clear away our plates and we just sit comfortably together like we used to.
So, Miho, today will be your first holiday, correct?
Yep. The first one I've paid attention to, at least. I don't really know what Halloween is about, though.
It depends, really. In some parts of the world, it's a time to honor the dead. In many others, it's simply a time to celebrate the season and have fun.
Most of the time it's about sweets and costumes. I'm sure there'll be plenty of trick-or-treaters coming by tonight.
What's that?
It's where kids put on costumes and go door to door, and the people who live there hand out candy.
For free?
Don't get any ideas.
Too late.
I picked up some bags of candy earlier, so there will be plenty to give out. Halloween is usually a busy night here, as you said.
From my experience, Halloween is you buy candy for the kids and then almost like no one shows up. And then you just have candy left over that you have to eat or throw out.
Will the two of you be here? Or do you have other plans?
Aspen and I look at each other and I shake my head.
I don't have anything else.
Neither do I. So I think it's safe to say we'll be around.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. It's good to see you looking so well, Aspen. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Me too. I'm still not quite back to 100%, but I'm getting there.
Have you decided what you're going to do?
Not entirely. I've decided that I'll put aside writing for a while, though. At least writing for anyone other than myself. I think I need to remember why I started doing it in the first place.
So true.
After that, maybe I can start to think about publishing again, and manuscripts. That could be in a month, or in a year, or even several years.
Under the table, Aspen takes my hand.
For
Oh,
once, I'm not in any rush.
oh my god, it's so real. Juliet looks at us fondly. Compared to a couple days ago, she looks relieved. Oh, compared to a couple days ago, she looks relieved. It's clear that I wasn't the only one who was worried about Aspen.
That's good. I hope you'll take all the time that you need.
Can they be a throuple, like, for real? Like, come on! The three of us make plans for the evening, settling on a time that will be back at the library. Juliet departs for bed, and Aspen and I remain at the table. Aspen slouches, looking up the ceiling with a contented sigh.
I can't remember the last time I had a morning like this. Not just with you and Juliet, but where I don't wake up feeling like I've already fallen behind in the day.
Oh my god.
No plans, no obligations,
She squeezes my hand.
just us.
Oh.
I've missed days like that too.
I know I've said it, but I'm sorry for worrying the two of you so much. And for being so distracted all the time. And for several other things that I'm sure will come to mind soon.
I shake my head.
Don't be sorry. I know you were trying really hard because of how important writing is to you.
Yes, well, there are other things that are important too. I can't let myself miss out on all those. Like this.
Aspen leans over and kisses me on the cheek.
Okay. That is pretty important.
She laughs.
Glad you agree. There was one thing I wanted to do today, actually. And I was hoping you would join me.
Of course. What is it?
Aspen stands up and fetches a couple heavy books that are sitting on the counter, bringing them over to where we are. I recognize them as coming from Aspen's apartment instead of being a part of the library's collection. They make a heavy thud as she sets them on the table.
Something Mum and I used to do when I was a kid. Although it's been a few years now.
Is it a bedtime story minus the bedtimeness of it? She takes one of the books and opens it up, flipping through the pages quickly but carefully. I watch from over her shoulder until she finally stops.
Here we are.
Oh, near the middle of the book, there's something tucked into the pages. Aspen delicately lifts it up for me to see.
Ooh.
It's a flower, but it's flat and dry. The petals look as dry as and delicate as the paper they were stuck between.
Every summer, we'd go out and pick flowers to press. Isn't it pretty?
It is.
She offers it to me and I take it very carefully. It's practically weightless and it feels like it could blow out of my hands at any second.
We used to do it to celebrate the end of each school year. Although it's not quite the same, lately I've been reminded of that feeling. One chapter ending and another beginning. So, if you're up for it, I thought perhaps we could go find some flowers of our own.
I'd love to.
Great! Let's be off then.
I let her lead the way outside. We searched for a while looking for any flowers that Aspen thinks will work. There are plenty in people's gardens, but she says we're not allowed to take those. We try the park, the mountain, and even the sides of the roads, but nothing we find meets Aspen's standards. Finally, after going around a big chunk of town, we spot a hidden grove near the waterfront that seems perfect. There are several different types of flowers, all in bloom. We walk over and stop just at the edge of the patch.
These should do. What do you think?
They look really pretty. But I thought that about the other ones we saw too.
It's not just about how pretty they are. They need to be the right shape and size as well. These ones check all the boxes. Go ahead and choose some that look nice to you. Then you can snip off the tops with these.
She hands me a pair of scissors.
I don't know how to decide. They all look nice to me.
It should be easy then. It's best if they're kind of flat though. Remember to only take the top so that the rest of the plant can grow back.
I watch her pick a couple so that I can make sure I'm doing it right. Aspen only chooses flowers that are in the middle of big patches instead of ones that are alone. After a bit, I wander off to select my own. Both of us move around carefully, making sure not to step on anything delicate. There are some that look like the ones Aspen already had in her book, which reminds me of the flowers that you can buy at the store. The sweet aroma isn't as strong as it would be if I were a fox, but it's still nice. There are others that I've never seen before but catch my eye as I'm deciding. Both kinds seem like they should work, so I'm not sure which to choose. I don't know if this decision matters either, but let's save. Let's try the new ones. I go with the unfamiliar flowers that are new to me. Oh my god, my cat. She's adjusting her weight on my mixer. I go with the unfamiliar flowers that are new to me. I want something that will stand out compared to the ones she's picked. Imitating what I saw Aspen do, I snip. Oh my god, my cat. I might have to move her. I snip off a few buds and bundle them up, making sure not to crush or damage them. Then I rejoin Aspen, who's finishing up too. She inspects my collection.
Oh, those are beautiful. Good choice. Are you all set?
Yeah. Ready if you are.
The two of us return to the library and the book's waiting for us there. My cat. I might have to move her. I snip off a few. Oh my god, I have to delete the recording. Okay, two of us return to the library and the books were waiting for us there. Okay.
So, how do we do this?
Cut the part.